Hi friends, welcome to Ahilu Arts channel. I'm your host Uma. In this video, this is a beginner crochet video. Okay, I'm getting many requests that all the beginners video are only in Tamil, so I just wanted to make sure that everyone is even the beginners will also be comfortable to make to practice the stitches. So I'm making this beginner video because I just want to start the new year incomplete with our viewers. Okay, so I'll be making this beginner crochet video for single crochet and half double crochet as one video, and double crochet and triple crochet in another video. Okay, so people who's having any doubts while working, you please view this video. If not, if you have friends who just want to start crocheting, just share it with them. Okay, so for that beginning, the first step for any crochet is a slip knot. Okay, there is nothing can be done without a slip knot, so we'll see how to make a slip knot. Okay, so to make a slip knot, make sure you have that small tail end hold by your two fingers, and in the index finger you just roll it twice. See, the long end is in the front side and the short end is in the back side. Okay, now what you have to do, the pull the back side and make it in the front side. Let me start over. I'm just having two edge. This is the back side, this is the front side. Okay, this is the long strand. Okay, so pull this short strand and keep it in front. Okay, now again pull the back side and have it below the finger. Now you form the slip knot. Okay, I'll do it again. Roll over twice. Okay, make sure you have enough space before that. Okay, now take this back side, put it in the front side. Now again take this back side, pull all the way down the finger. Now you form the slip knot. Okay, this is how the slip knot has to be made. Then you can pull this long tail end to adjust, right? Or what another simple method is, you can hold this long short strand in the left hand, and with the long strand form a loop. See, my long strand is in the top, the short strand is in the bottom. Okay, now again pull the long strand into the loop. See, this is the loop what I have formed, like this, and this long strand I am having it inside the loop. Now I will pull up this loop and another. Don't worry, if you pull this long strand, then the slip knot will be small. Okay, we'll do it again. Hold this long short strand, the short tail end in left hand, form a loop with the long tail end on the top. Now make sure the long tail end is inside the loop what you have formed. Now pull this loop up, form a slip knot. Now if you leave the pull the long strand, your slip knot will be small enough, right? Now we'll see how to form the foundation chain. Okay, foundation chain, the name itself says that it's a foundation of the crochet. Okay, so the first thing you want to know in crochet is, whatever the loop is on the hook is not a stitch or counted as nothing. It's just a loop. It's a working loop what you will be using to proceed. Okay, this is nothing but a loop. It's not a stitch, it's not a single crochet, it's nothing. Okay, so when you start working a foundation chain, make sure the hook faces you. See, the hook faces me, and I will be yarning over. When I pull, if my hook faces me, then the loop won't come out. Okay, so when I pull, yarn over, when I pull, I will turn my hook towards my left hand and pull. Okay, so I will yarn over, but when I pull, I will turn towards the hook, I will turn the hook towards my left hand. Okay, so yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. See, you can see the V structure, right? 1 2 3 4 5. The V structure is what is called a chain. Okay, this is not a chain, this is just a loop. Okay, so yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. So how many times you are pulling up a loop, that forms the chain. Okay, so since I have pulled up 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 times, I have 8 chains. You can see the V structure here, right? So that forms the chain. What I'm saying, the V is just to make sure you are getting what I'm saying. It looks like V, so I just say the V structure. Okay, so yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. Okay, whenever you find difficulty, you just take off your hook. Okay, take off the hook and just pull this. This is called ripping or frogging. Okay, if you work correctly and you did not split any yarn, you will find no difficulty in ripping it up, and you will be reaching the slip knot. Okay, so continue the chain, practice the chain again and again. This is the simplest thing in crochet, but most important thing. Okay, so continue as long as you want, don't make count or anything. Okay, so continue, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull up the loop. Okay, so continue every how much long you want. Okay, then again rip it and start over. Okay, so for beginners, I just wanted to make sure that one you can use any yarn. Okay, but use corresponding hook. For beginners, I just wanted to let you know that you can start with 4 5 6 millimeter hooks. Okay, that is like H H will be 5 mm hook, J will be 6 mm hook. Okay, and G will be 4 mm hook. Okay, there is in between a letter which is I, that will be 5.5 mm. We don't worry about that and all now. Okay, so by these 3 hooks you can use. Okay, you can see the difference between this yarn, how much thick is that, and you can see how thin is this. You can see the difference, right? For this type of yarn you can use 4 mm hook, which is thinner hook. For this type of yarn you can use either 5 or 6 mm hook, which is comfortable for you. Okay, so this is how we will be continuing our chain with the slip knot and the foundation chain. I will show you how to do the single crochet and the half double crochet in this video. Okay, see, now we start the single crochet. Sorry, I have changed the color of yarn because I feel that color was not clearly visible with the stitches, so I have changed the color. Okay, now you can see the chain, right? How many chains I have done is you have to you have to count the plate like structure. Okay, you can see the V's, right? So you have to count one chain with the one V. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15, right? So now we will be starting our single crochet. To start the single crochet, the first tip is how many stitches you want to have for your project. You have to chain plus 1. Okay, if I want this piece of crochet to be 15 stitch, I have to do 15 chains plus 1 chain, because the first chain we always skip. Okay, so I have 16 chain now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. Now I will be having 15 single crochet to work on a single crochet. Usually how people work on foundation chain is they will do a chain in the both the V's. You can see the V structure, right? They will work in the top of the V like this. Okay, they'll insert it here, but I won't do that. I want you to practice from the beginning to work in the spine of the foundation chain. If you see here, the V structure will be clearly visible. We don't want to disturb this structure. So for working a single crochet, what we'll do, I will turn my chain and I will see a spine like structure in every back of every chain. You can see here, right? It'll be we won't call it as a back loop because we'll be calling this as a back loop and this as a front loop while we start working, so we don't want to confuse with that. So I'll call this as a spine of the foundation chain because it is like spine, right? In the back of the or chain. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, this is my first chain. See, this is my first chain, that is by my extra chain. Okay, so I will be skipping that chain. I don't want to use that chain because when I insert my hook here, my yarn will be untied. Okay, so I will be skipping that chain, and from the second chain from the hook, you can see here this chain. See, this is the strand I'm going to skip and this is the strand I'm going to work. Okay, so insert your hook into the second chain. Okay, pull the new loop up. Right, now you have two loops in the hook. This is the loop which was already there, and this is the loop you have pulled through the first chain. Let me show you again. This is the chain I have to work. So insert the hook here, pull the loop through the first chain. Okay, now I have two strands. What I already told you, whatever the thing you have in the hook, it's just a loop, not a stitch or anything. Okay, so now we have to make a stitch by yarn over, pull this both the loops here. Now we make our first stitch. I will show you again. And from the next chain you have to insert, right, the loop which is already in the hook is not a stitch. Okay, now pull up a loop. Now you have two strands, two loops in the hook. Yarn over, pull through both the loops. This is called a single crochet because we are crocheting only once. Okay, so insert a loop, pull a loop. You have two loops, pull through both the loops. Okay, the only thing is you have to hold this, whatever you have worked, you have to hold this more grip. Okay, with more grip with these three fingers. Whatever you are about to work has to be held by these two fingers. Okay, that is the main thing while holding the yarn. Okay, once you have the holding more correctly, see, this is what I'm going to work. This is the loop I'm going to work. So in order to have the hook inserted into the loop so fine, I'm holding this with more grip. Okay, see, this is not the second loop. Okay, this is just a chain what we have inserted through. This is the loop what we have pulled over. Okay, pull through, then pull through too. Okay, you have to count the loop after you pull through, not at once you have inserted. See, this is the chain, this is not the two loop which is in your chain, and you need not pull through both the loop. If you pull through both the loops, this is not a single crochet. Okay, that will be a slip stitch which we will deal with later. Okay, So once you pull through the chain, then you have to pull through both the loops. Now if you see, our stitch has been clearly seen. See, we have done 5 single crochets. Now if we count 1, we have to count with the V structure. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. If you see in the back side of the chain also, you can see the V structure clearly. That is the reason we are working in the spine of the loop, to have the back side finishing also with a perfect finishing. Okay, so the insert into the loop, pull through, insert, pull through, to pull up a loop, pull through both the loops. This is how the single crochet, simple single crochet works. Okay, single crochet is the most important part, because whenever you are starting or whenever you are ending a project, single crochet is the stitch which gives you a nice perfect edging for your work. Okay, so this is how we will be doing our single crochet. So here we have left with the last chain. You need not have to, you should not skip this chain, because including this chain only, we will have the 15 stitches, right? See, if we count our stitches, we have to have 15, because we chained 16, right? 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15, right? Since I need 15 stitches, I have chained 16 and I have skipped my first chain and worked with starting from the second chain. So I have 15 single crochets with both sides the same finishing. Okay, if you have used, if you missed using the spine, but you have used the one of the loops in the V stitch, then this finishing will not be there. Okay, so keep in mind, whatever you are doing, not single crochet or half double crochet, anything, you have to work on the foundation spine of the foundation chain, right? So now we will do the next, how to start the next row. Okay, so what I have already told you, if we have to have 15 stitches, we have to have 15 plus 1 chain extra, right? So for that, chain 1, I am holding my work like this. Now turn this work. Okay, I am holding my work like this. Now here nothing else left to work, right? So for that we have to turn this work. Listen carefully. Okay, I am holding like this. Now what I'll do, I will make this like this. Okay, because this is the stitch where we have to work. Okay, so for this, if I'm holding like I was holding like this, now I'll be changing, turning like this, right? So after this, we have to start working from the second stitch, that is, we have to leave the chain what we have just done now. Okay, now insert into both the V's. Okay, insert both the V's, pull up a loop. Now you have 2 loops. Sorry, the camera is blurring. Okay, now pull through both the loops, right? So insert into the V, pull up a loop, pull through both the loops. Okay, so this is how the simple single crochet has been made. Insert, pull up a loop, you have 2 loops here, pull through both the loops. Okay, insert, pull through both the loops, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both the loops. You can see the stitches has been coming, right? Insert, pull up the loop. You have two loops here. Yarn over, pull through both the loops. Okay, this is how the single crochet has to be made. So once you complete the first row, once you complete each row, you have to chain one extra to start the new row. Okay, so that is what we will be doing from the beginning. If I want 15 stitches, I have to chain 15 plus 1. Like the same way, while starting the new row, if I want to maintain the number of stitches from the previous row, I have to chain one extra. Okay, see, I have reached the last stitch here. I should not have to miss this. So insert into the V of the last stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Okay, now we have completed 2 rows of single crochet. Okay, see, this is 2 rows of single crochet. You can see the starting as well as the ending are of same size because we have 15 stitches in both the rows. Okay, this is where the chaining one extra will come in handy. Okay, so we will do one more row and we'll start with the half double crochet. Okay, so chain one, listen carefully, I am turning my work, right? So now from the second stitch, that is from the loop in the hook, you have to insert in the second stitch. That is, you have to skip the chain one what we have done just now. Okay, so from the first stitch of the single crochet, do a stitch, insert, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both the loops. So insert into the loop, pull up a loop, pull through, yarn over and pull through both the loops. So this is how the simple single crochet has to be done. Why I am showing this all 3 rows on camera? Because this is the main stitch, this is the basic stitch which all the other stitches is depending on. Okay, so when we start our half double crochet, you will know how exactly it resembles the single crochet. Okay, with slight difference, right? That's the main reason we are spending more time on single crochet. Okay, if you are practicing, do practice the single crochet up to at least 10 inch. Okay, then only you will master the stitch, then only you will feel comfortable to learn a new stitch. I'm recommending all my students to do the same. Okay, once they have learned the single crochet, I make them to do 30 stitches. Now I have done only 15. I'll make them to chain 31 so that they will have 30 stitches, and I'll make them to do up to 10 inch. Okay, they can use that as a pot holder or dishcloth, anything, right? So make sure you are practicing well with the single crochet before you start learning the new stitch. Okay, see, I have reached my last stitch, pull, insert into the V, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops in the hook, yarn over and pull through both the loops. Whenever you are counting after each row, you have to have the same number of stitch what you had in the first row. Okay, so now if we count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15, right? So this is how, since we have all 15 stitches from the beginning, our work is like a perfect rectangle. Okay, so now we will start our half double crochet to learn but to practice you have to continue the single crochet up to at least 10 inch, then you can rip off. I told you, right? Whenever you are pulling this long tail end, if you work correct without splitting any strand of yarn, you will find easy to rip it all off till the starting where you have done the slip knot, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one. So for single crochet and half double crochet you have to chain one extra. For other stitches we'll see later, okay? I don't want to confuse you. So one chain extra. So again I am turning my work, right? Now how we do the single crochet? We insert into the V of the previous row, pull up a loop. We have two loops in the hook, then we yarn over and pull through both the loops. This is how the single crochet is done, okay? So for half double crochet, before inserting into the loop you have to yarn over once, okay? Now itself we have two loops in the hook. Now you insert into the first stitch of the previous row, you pull up a loop. See, now we have three loops in the hook. That is the only difference between the half double crochet and the single crochet. Now yarn over, pull through all the three stitches, right? So yarn over, insert into the stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the three loops. The only difference between the single crochet and the half double crochet is you yarning over before inserting, and you have three loops while pulling up all the three, because in single crochet you won't yarn over, so you just pull up a loop and you have only two loops, then you pull up with both the stitches. That is the only difference from with the single crochet and the half double crochet. Now what are the difficulties you will be facing? I'll tell you how to rectify that, okay? If you hold this strand so tight and yarn over and insert and pull up, now you don't have enough space to pull up all the three loops, because this yarning over is the center loop will be so tight, so you feel it difficult to pull through all the loops. So that is why I told you to hold the long strand gently, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I will be having enough space with this loop which is already there in my hook, okay? You have to check whether the yarn is moving freely. If you tighten this loop, then my yarn will be my hook will be struggling to move freely, okay? So now I have my loop little bit loose. Now I yarn over, insert and pull up a loop. Before yarning over and pull through all the three, I will just have check my hook, which is whether it is clearly moving freely, okay? Now I yarn over and pull through all the three. When my yarn is free enough, then only it can be easily pulled through all the three loops, okay? If the strands are so tight, then it can't be easily pulled through all the three loops. Now what I'm going to do is I make sure my hook is free, okay? Now yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull through. Now again I am checking my hook. If your hook is so tight, then what you have to do, you have to slightly make this loose, okay? Now yarn over, pull through all the three. If you feel like the stitch is much loose, then after completing the stitch you can pull the long strand to make it tighter, okay? Now pull the yarn little bit gently, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, check my hook. Now yarn over, pull through all the three, okay? So this is what half double crochet is all about. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops. Why I am saying you have 2 loops, why you have 3 loops? Because you should not forget that for single crochet it should be only 2 loops, and for half double crochet it should be 3 loops. Okay, so this video is only for beginners, so the people who are experts in crocheting no need to see this video, but I just wanted to make sure the beginners get it. So this video may be small and lengthy, slow and lengthy, so pardon me for that. Okay, so yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through all the 3, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Make sure your hook is moving freely within all the 3 loops. Now yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. Okay, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over. Don't forget to yarn over. Okay, you may seem that both half double crochet and single crochet are not of much difference in the size also, but when you have a group of half double crochet rows, you might feel the difference. Okay, see, I have reached the end of my row. If I count my stitches, I have to have 15 stitches, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. If you have missed any stitch in between, you can clearly see that it leaves a gap. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more row of half double crochet. Okay, and I'll show you how the size difference. See, we have done 3 rows of single crochet, which approximately inch. We can have the same length by doing only 2 rows of half double crochet. That is the difference you can see. Within one row you can't see much difference, but when you see a bunch of rows, you can clearly see the difference, right? So you remember we have to chain 1 extra. Now I am turning my work, since this will be in the bottom. When I turn my work, this will be in the top, right? So yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the 3. Okay, so yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the 3, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the 3. Why I'm saying this as a formula or table? Because I just want you to remember, even though if you are not seeing the video. Okay, so yarn over, insert into the hook, pull up a loop, pull through all the 3. Okay, so once you master the half double crochet, again you have to work at least 10 inch of once you practice, you have to make 10 inch of half double crochet stitch. Okay, you can combine both the stitch also. You can make a scarf like structure. Okay, you can have 21 chain and have 20 chains, 5 rows of single crochet and 5 rows of half double crochet, 5 rows of single crochet and 5 rows of half double crochet. Then you can continue till as long as you want. You can make this as a scarf. You can start with a small scarf for a baby or a toddler. Okay, that will form your first yet beautiful creation of yours. Okay, so please make sure you practice enough to master the stitch. Then only you will remember when you see the see other videos of half double crochet and single crochet. Okay, they will be just telling 1 row of single crochet, 1 row of half double crochet, like that. So you have to have the practice and master the stitch. See, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all the 3, yarn over, insert, pull through all the 3. See, if I count it here now, it has to be 15 stitches because we have the perfect rectangle. Okay, so please make sure you practice it again and again, at least for 10 inch for each stitch. Then you can make a scarf or mobile pouch like that. Okay, so continue the stitches of single crochet. See, we have 2 rows of single half double crochet, and we have 3 rows of single crochet. If you see, both these are same. That is how the single crochet and half double crochet differs when we see the group of structures. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Make sure you practice enough to start with the new stitch, and we'll be seeing in the next video how to do the double crochet and triple crochet. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends, like our Facebook page, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any video. Thank you.